Does the law of attraction really work? To be honest, I don't have the exact answer. Like, yes and no, and yes in some ways, but no in others. So, what is the law of attraction? The law of attraction basically states that whatever you focus on in life is going to come to you. So, the way that you think attracts the circumstances that you have. Now, there's senses where this isn't necessarily true, right? So if you tell yourself that you're gonna like manifest a Lamborghini, put a picture of a Lamborghini on your wall, and then 3 months later you're just gonna have a Lamborghini, like no, the law of attraction doesn't work in that way. But there is something to be said about kind of focusing on what you want, keeping negative energy like out of your life, and then executing at the same time. So I touched on this in another video a little bit, but you go to the dealership and you buy a new car. And then once you go out on the road, you see every other car that was the same car that you had, but you didn't notice that car before. You never noticed all the other Toyota Camrys, red Toyota Camrys on the road, right? So all of a sudden, when something comes into your life that you have a focus on, you tend to notice it. So this does contribute to your success. There is something to be said about the law of attraction in that, in many ways, your life does become a self-fulfilling prophecy. One of the reasons that successful people tend to get more successful, aside from the fact that they have more resources, is they know how to attract things into their life and they feel like they're entitled to those things. So when you really earn some success, it kind of builds that confidence flywheel to where you feel like you're entitled to have more. So if you want to have more money, if you want to attract more money, you have to cultivate the belief that you're entitled to that money. But at the same time, you don't want to be entitled, thinking that it's just going to fall into your lap. So a lot of things in self-improvement are very kind of paradoxical, contradictory, catch-22. It's like you want to, have the right energy, attract things, focus on having a good vibe, because that does cause things to you do kind of draw things in, right? It's weird. I compare it to when you get a vibe from somebody. Why is it that when a certain person walks in the room, it makes you literally change your physiology, right? So if there's somebody who is very weak, you don't notice them. But if there's somebody who has a strong presence, you feel them. You feel it in all sorts of areas. Or when someone's very bright and bubbly, it lightens you. Or when someone's negative, you feel it's almost as if your muscles tighten up and you droop. So there is something to be said about having the right type of energy and wanting to attract things into your life. But at the same time, you have to do the work. So you cultivate a belief that you deserve to be successful. And that's really important because a lot of people just price themselves out of things because they don't believe they deserve them. A lot of people walk around with an inherent unworth. And if you look at it, even from a body language perspective, what does having a low self-esteem and self-worth do to you? It causes you to droop, to shrink, to fold. So when you're drooping and shrinking and folding, you can't see the opportunities around you, right? But when you start to think of yourself as a confident, lucky, deserving, entitled person, things come to you. You attract things with your energy, but that energy is also a result of your output, right? So a lot of people are attracted to my writing. They find me, but it's not as if I'm not doing any promotion of my work, right? A, I have to write this stuff in the first place. B, I have to practice really hard to write in a compelling and persuasive way. And C, I don't just sit there and expect people to find me, like I'm proactive about it. But that energy comes through in the writing. That intention comes through. That intention comes through when I'm talking to you. I mean, even a couple of times people have told me they like the videos, and I don't know, it's just because I want to be doing it. You can kind of feel that I want to be doing it. You can feel that I'm putting out energy into the universe trying to get it back, right? And who knows? Maybe the scientists are right, and on some deep metaphysical level the law of attraction works. Who knows? There's a lot of mysteries in the universe we have no idea about. You know, humans are very arrogant and think that they know everything when there's a lot of things that we're locked off to. So often the best kind of heuristic, mental shortcut, so to speak, is whatever beliefs are useful to you, use them. Like, they don't have to be scientifically accurate to be useful, right? You know, there was an experiment where a teacher was given profiles on different students. One, it showed all the students who were gifted, talented, capable, and then the other side showed the problem students. But the profiles got flip-flopped, so they mislabeled the kids on purpose. And what happened? The quote-unquote bright students who got mislabeled as bad started to do worse. And the quote-unquote bad students who got mislabeled as bright, the teacher perceived them a certain way and treated them better and drew out that good energy and good vibe. So the way you label yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you label other people, the way you feel about what you're entitled to have in this life does have a real and profound impact on the results you get. Of course, this is always context dependent, right? You know, somebody living in poverty is not going to be able to manifest themselves to success. But even in some cases, people, you know, there's rags to riches stories too. And it's just about putting whatever energy you need to put into the universe to make your life better. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. So whether or not the law of attraction really works, that doesn't matter. What matters is day in and day out, you focus on putting good energy into the world. You write down your goals. You focus on your goals while doing the work. You give a positive vibe to people. You don't complain. You're not mired in negativity. You're not always talking about what you don't want. See, that's how it works on the flip side. If you think about the things you don't want to happen, oh, they'll happen. If you are negative, your life is going to become a negative. You know, I don't know if the positive law of attraction works, but the negative law of attraction sure as fucking hell works. People who are negative live shitty lives by default because they have shut off their lens of perception to anything other than shit. So the way you perceive the world is your reality. Aside from scientific laws like gravity, reality is pretty much whatever you think it is. So that's why I talk about energy in the universe and kind of reconstructing reality as you see fit. Because when you take a more game-like approach to life where like you kind of feel like you're Neo in the Matrix and you can dodge bullets and bend time, like kind of that irrational confidence does kind of help you get what you want. But you still have to do a crap load of work for years before it pays off. So that's my view on the law of attraction.